We're looking at vocabulary again today. We've already done 18 lessons on vocabulary, and we think we've done work, money, crime, and health. So if you want to repeat any of those lessons, or if you want to do the exercises for those lessons, you will need to go to skype-lessons.com. Yeah, you can see the website over there. Go to skype-lessons.com, and all of these classes are available, as well as the exercises, without any kind of adverts or anything like that. So what are you waiting for? Please go to my website if you would like some free stuff and some new classes. Now, we're looking at health vocabulary. We'll be doing some revision, of course. We'll be repeating some of the words we learned last time, because that's how we learn new things. We repeat them again and again and again, and eventually you don't forget them. So let's have a look at some of these words in exercise 4.7. Of course, all of these exercises will be on my website later today. All of the stuff that I'm doing at the moment does end up on my website. Yeah, so that's where you go, guys, because I still get people asking me, where are your videos going? Well, I mean, come on. They're going over there, guys, to that place there, skype-lessons.com. Okay, let's get cracking. Let's get started with which medical problems are the following symptoms referring to? Choose from heart attack, flu, stroke, food poisoning, broken leg, allergic reaction, and concussion. Now, I wrote this exercise, so I ought to be able to do it all correctly. Let's have a look. So people suffering from this have a high temperature, above 38 degrees, and fatigue. They may also sweat profusely in spite of feeling cold, and may have a rasping cough, blocked nose, and sore throat. Now, that sounds like flu to me. I'm not sure if it sounds like it to you, but that one sounds like flu to me. Let's keep going. People suffering from this throw up violently and also have diarrhea. However, these uncomfortable symptoms don't usually last very long. So I remember throwing up violently and having diarrhea when I got food poisoning. And this happened to me twice, actually. And I remember how unpleasant it was. It didn't last very long. It only lasted about 24 hours, but it was very unpleasant for that time. So I reckon that's food poisoning. Number 3, people suffering from this will often have slurred speech, a drooping smile, and a weakness on one side of the body. Okay, this is a stroke, guys, a stroke. A stroke is what you have, but usually in older age, and it's when one half of the brain stops working or malfunctions in some kind of way. And that's why one half of the body, it says a weakness on one side of the body. This comes from one half of the brain not functioning correctly. And so that's also why your smile droops. On one side of your face, your smile is fine, but on the other side of your face, it starts to droop down. Okay, so that's stroke. People suffering from this will often break out in a rash. Okay, which one is a rash? An allergic reaction is usually a breakout in a rash, isn't it? People suffering from this will need to use crutches if the injury is particularly serious, and their limb may be put in plaster for several weeks. So this is some kind of broken bone. Broken leg. There we go. People suffering from this will often double over with a sharp pain in the chest, and they may sweat profusely or be short of breath. Okay, so this sounds like some kind of heart attack, or when you start to have a heart attack, yeah? And lastly, people suffering from this have a headache, and they may temporarily pass out. They may also have amnesia, forgetfulness that is, confusion, and dizziness. So this sounds to me like concussion. This is when something hits you on the head very, very hard, and you have problems afterwards, okay? So we're going to go through another exercise now. Good morning, Alia. We're going to go through another exercise now, 4.8. Of course, all of these will be going to my website. So if you want to get your hands on these exercises, all you got to do is go to my website over there and click. So 4.8, fill in the missing words and then discuss the questions. I think I'll let you do that on the exercise, yeah, because that's really for you, and it's to revise lots of the vocabulary we have already done. But please do discuss those questions. And missing prepositions, I think I'll let you do that as well. And, well, actually, we're going to have to do one of these. So let's perhaps go through Let's perhaps go through this one. When was the last time you came down with a nasty illness? What symptoms did you have? So I want you all to think about when you came down with something last. Remember, you normally come down with an illness, or come down with flu, or come down with a cold. You don't often come down with, well, you certainly never come down with heart attack or stroke or anything serious like that. It's only used for things that aren't serious, like colds and viruses and seasonal respiratory illnesses. Yeah, they're not serious. And so that's why we use come down with. So you could certainly say he came down with a nasty case of a nasty flu, a nasty virus, something like that. Have you ever suffered adverse reactions? So don't forget, you can say adverse reactions, or you can say side effects. And so I'm sure that we have all suffered adverse reactions and side effects from different forms of treatment, because that's what happens when you take powerful pharmaceuticals or powerful drugs. There will be adverse reactions. There will be side effects. So think about what kind of side effects you have experienced from different medicines. I'm sure that lots of people, especially over the last year, have experienced many. Okay, are you allergic to anything? Do you break out in a rash when exposed to this? So think about what makes you break out in a rash. I don't think I'm allergic to many things. I can't think of anything that makes me break out in a rash. I mean, of course, occasionally I have had rashes, and I think it's when my immune system is weak, when I'm vulnerable, basically, when I've been eating badly, when my diet's poor and not very nutritious, then I think that's usually when I'll break out in a rash, or when I'll come down with something. Okay, have you ever had an arm or leg put in plaster? How did you get injured? Did you have to use crutches? Yeah, these are the things that go under your arm, these crutches. So I have never broken a bone. I'm really pleased about that as well. When I was young, I don't remember breaking any bones. Of course, I've had times where I've probably fractured a bone. I think I've fractured a few ribs, a few times, in fact. And it's been painful, but I've never had a leg or an arm in plaster. So I'm very lucky, and I've certainly never had crutches or a wheelchair or anything like that. So I've been very fortunate. So how should you treat someone who has a twisted ankle? Remember, twisted means suddenly moved round in a circle. And so what is the best way to make the swelling go down? I think most people put ice on a twisted ankle. Yeah, they usually try to cool down the injury. And sometimes people use heat as well. Sometimes they'll make the injury very cold and then very hot. Perhaps that helps the swelling to go down. I'm not actually very sure. I don't really know. Okay, and do you ever experience insomnia? Difficulty getting to sleep? Again, I think everybody does sometimes. And so what do you think is the best way to cope with this problem? Yeah, how can we get to sleep if we're having insomnia? Personally, I like reading. I think reading makes my eyes tired, and usually I will fall asleep if I'm reading. Okay, so I've got that one for you so far for health. I think I'm going to finish there, and I will put this this lesson on my website later today, including all of these exercises, because there are a few more exercises. I'm going to put this in with certain words missing, keywords missing, and then I'm going to put this in with certain words missing, and then I'm going to put this in with certain words missing. And so we could quickly do this one though. Can you find the following in the picture on the left? Yeah, I think these are very useful, these words. So what is a ward, first of all? Well, this is the ward right here. You can see it's where all the people are lying in bed and being treated. And that's what a ward is. It's a room in a hospital with a load of beds. And there are many wards in the hospital. They just mean the rooms for the patients, where the patients wait for treatment in their beds. So this is the ward right here on this side. This looks like the ward, and this looks more like reception, waiting area. Guy on crutches there. But a drip now, a drip. This is very important, because in every hospital you see drips. You can see the drip here. Now a drip is where you have some kind of liquid that is put directly into your bloodstream or into another part of the body. I'm not sure how they work, being honest, but I think it's usually directly into the blood. And this bag this plastic bag of liquid is dripped into your body. Yeah. When you need to have something put in your body, some kind of drug or pharmaceutical or nutrient, I'm not sure what it could be, but they drip it into your body. So that's called a drip. Okay, so that's a very useful piece of vocabulary for anyone working in a hospital, certainly. Okay, let's keep going on to X-ray. X-ray is obviously very useful, and you can see it right here. It's where you use a machine to see the bones. Very often you want to find out if a bone is broken or something like that. You can use an X-ray to see if the bone is broken, or if some kind of, I don't know, metal object has got pushed into the body. You can see it using an X-ray. So crutches we have discussed already. You can see this guy is using crutches, and it's when you use sticks to walk, probably because you've broken your leg. And a wheelchair. Again, we can see this guy here with a wheelchair because he's broken his leg. You use a wheelchair to help you walk again. So please do go to the website later on today. There'll be all these new exercises up on my website. I think I will stop there for health, but I think I will start again in 2 minutes or 5 minutes after I've got myself another coffee to do another piece of vocabulary. So there's more vocabulary coming soon, guys. And I know this might be a bit quick for a lot of you, which is why you need to get to my website so that you can do it all carefully and at your own pace. Yeah, and then you're in no rush. And you've got loads of exercises already for this vocabulary. You've got 18 lessons and 18 documents with exercises on them. And so please do head to that website, and please come back in about 5 minutes for the next topic, which will be driving. Now, driving is always a difficult topic to learn vocabulary for. There's loads of vocabulary in driving, so please make sure you're back in 5 minutes for loads of vocabulary, loads of phrasal verbs connected to driving. And please don't forget, if you are interested in learning phrasal verbs, these books are still selling very, very well. I'm very delighted with how many copies I'm selling each month. You've got visual phrasal verbs, and you've got grammar in theory and in practice. This one's really for people interested in grammar and rhetorical devices, and certainly punctuation. But this one's vocabulary. And I'm well aware that foreign students find it difficult to learn all of our phrasal verbs. We've got so many. So please, this is a very thick book with the most common phrasal verbs inside, and you can find pictures and things like that and loads of exercises. So please, if you do want a book to learn vocabulary, I recommend my book, Visual Phrasal Verbs, and you can buy that on Amazon as a hard copy or on my website. Yeah, the one just over there, yeah, or there. Too hard doing that. But you can get it on my website for £20 as a PDF, which will be colour, or £20 as a physical copy, which will be black and white. But you get it on Amazon. Okay, thanks everybody for watching. I'll be back in 5 minutes for driving. See you all soon.